as we were saying, if we look at the left-hand one, this was your before, and the sequence, and like I say, the good thing is from your point of view, you have a good routine in the fact that you have a routine. So many golfers just grab club from their bag, and the club, almost the sort of movement out the bag into the hands is just down the club, not even any sort of sequence whatsoever. So you are very sort of meticulous in what you do. You do things the same every time. It's just at the moment the order of that sequence isn't quite there. So we can see that left hand now when you're holding that golf club is bending there quite dramatically, and you're now setting the distance from your feet with your arm in that position. So two things have to happen. Either you hold the golf club with your left arm like that, or you've got to move away from the ball, which was kind of that sort of squatting thing we see in a second, which gave you a bit more space. But then when you're squatting back on your heels, you can't move and rotate your body properly. And we talked about that hip movement last lesson, trying to get this. Absolutely. If you're like this, move your hips.
Can't do it.
You're going to fall over. And then if you try and swing fast, you'll just miss the golf ball, okay? So the order's going to be club. I don't think I got it on here now. Yeah, there you go. So the order is, so look at your left arm there, Des. It's not straight as in locking. It's just, your arm just hangs down from your shoulder. You don't have to push it out further from the shoulder socket or lock it tight, okay? Don't hang down, okay? So if we sort of go through this bit by bit in terms of, so there's the difference in start, okay? Now, I don't think they're going to be synced together in time. We'll see what we can do. So that when you're putting your feet first, hand hasn't moved. That when you're getting your grip for your feet. So now straight away, even as a non-golfer, you look a bit more kind of sequenced there and a bit more under control. That just looks a bit like a bit of a jumbled mess. Okay. So then from there, you put your feet there, and now your arms, and then the last is there's the squat there to try and give yourself that space, but your arm's still pretty bent in there. Okay. Then from this one here now, you've got yourself set up. There we go. There's your setup. Now, as simple as that may seem to explain, you had 3 swings I think on there in the 10 shots you hit after the change where you went, oh, come on, and you forgot it. So that just shows one bit of advice or information, 3 times out of 10, you still went, ooh. But because you were just thinking about that, you could correct yourself and still make some adjustments and to be fair, some really, really good shots. If I put 3 more things in there, you would remember maybe one of them, forget the other 2, maybe not do the last one at all, and it's just a complete mess. And then your brain's in overload mode, and then you're trying not to move your body, trying to think, trying to swing fast, but not too fast, trying to get some club head speed, but keep your head down, bend your left arm straight, and you're just like,
I'm totally demoralised after that last shot.
And enjoy your game, keep your head up. So, thanks. My brain's just in overload mode. This game, they all say keep it simple, sort of kissing it, so you just got to keep it simple as best you can. If you overload yourself with information, the brain and the body don't function when they're thinking too much.
No, absolutely.
Okay, we function the best when we just do it autopilot. Things like when you're driving a car, when you're doing anything you can do, whether you use your previous job.
You don't know you're doing it, do you?
Exactly.
But one thing I do have to say is to myself, stop doing this. Just relax.
The thing is, if your hand is here, relax. You can't relax. Very difficult.
I know there are a lot of things wrong with what I do. I managed to get some nice shots. I've said to Alan, I've lost confidence. Because that's the thing, I know there's stuff. If I'm losing confidence in my setup, something's not right. It probably never has been right, but I'm...
Well, I think what's happened is, if we sort of think about these two on a timeline, on a quality line, so if we go down... So if this on this end is, we'll just say this one down here is like a 10 and that's a 0, okay? And so that's on about a 2 and that's on about an 8 or a 9 kind of thing, okay? You probably fluctuate in between sort of 2 and 8 over the last 6 to 8 to 10 months or whatever it may be. On some days you might go more this way, some days back to this way. It's only got to be a little, there's like a tipping point somewhere in the middle there. If you're this side of it, it's going to be a bad game of golf. If you're this side, it'll be a good game of golf or some good shots. But during a round of golf, you might still go back to this one. And if you start thinking too much and get too tense, then you go back to this side. And it's just that sort of balance back and forth with the different shots, okay? So the more we can just try and get that sequence, get that order in better, okay? It will get yourself in a position where you're more like so, rather than
I'll go take this home now.
Yeah,
practice that.
As daft as it may sound. Club grip feet, okay? Put the club down. I mean, the thing is, everyone sort of works on their swing. When was the last time people practiced their aim, which we all struggle at? When was the last time you practiced your routine that we all sometimes get wrong, okay? So things like that we know we need to do them well. We never spend that time practicing. We just go on a range and whack golf balls till we get tired. And that's practice for a lot of people. And it's very, very... And what happens eventually when you get enough shots, you figure out where straight is. Your first 3 swings were like that. The third one was a phenomenal golf shot. But it was 3 shots in 35 seconds. So you just found a good shot.
Yeah,
if I stood there with my eyes shut with one leg crossed and one hand and just kept hitting golf balls, eventually I'd work out what would happen.
I said, why aren't you Tiger Woods? Why? And I said, I can't do it, you know. I said, because I say, you expect me to be something I'm not.
Exactly.
I don't expect it to be easy. Great golfer.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, exactly. Expectations have got to be realistic to a point.
But he expects me to be something I'm not as well. But again, I think that getting back to this number of shots, I say if you had an infinite number of monkeys, an infinite, you know, like the
blind squirrel finds a nut, doesn't it? Eventually.
You know, I'm one of the monkeys. I'm one of the infinite monkeys. If I hit enough, I'll get it right. Something like this.
Golf is a one-shot sport.
I know.
You don't get second serve in golf.
Talking about that, there was the handicap thing, because my handicap's gone up to 38 now, which is just awful.
And you're better than that, to be fair. I know you are.
Well, a lot of people say that to me, but I'm not. But that's the thing, I'm
not.
I know. I'm not doing it.
Physically, you definitely are.
Yeah.
Mentally, on the golf course, you're probably not.
Yeah.
And you find a middle ground, and you then sort of shoot around like that sort of 110, 120.
So I need to get myself. I think I've had more confidence in stuff.
Yeah, of course.
It's true. As soon as my drive started getting better, they got even better.
Yeah, exactly. And once you get off the tee, you can get on the golf course a lot easier.
Yeah.
Does that kind of make sense over that sequence, yeah?
Absolutely, definitely.
Good stuff.